What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tarmac Obsession. So in this episode, I explained in the last episode that I'm going to actually try and start to reduce the amount of projects I've got on the go at the same time. So I've done a bit of cleaning in this shed and it's looking fantastic and clean, ready to go in here. So I'm going to tidy up and finish off the little bits and pieces of the things that I have been working on, so I can just go piece to piece to piece to piece rather than 5 different things at the same time. I'm just finding, I mean, it's okay, I can get my head around it, but I've got a lot of other things I'm doing at the moment with work. So I'm finding that I've got bits of Datsun sort of everywhere. In my office, in the car, in this shed, in my other shed, in the lounge room, in the office, it's everywhere. So today I'm going to try and, well, I'm going to finish up the fuel lines, which I have started. I've got all the brackets back from getting re-zinc coated. I also got a heap of stuff back from the blasters and the powder coaters. I don't know if you saw through my Instagram in the week that the stuff came back and it looks absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to give you a quick run through and show you all that stuff. So here's all the bits and pieces. I've got them up here on the shelf. And in my opinion, I reckon they came absolutely fantastic. So just have a quick look at that. Now that looks absolutely brand new. So my mate Joel said, you know, it's going to be like you're putting a brand new car back together, and I didn't really think about it until now, but yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic that way. All the little brackets, all the bits and pieces, they just look absolutely phenomenal. The guys did a super good job and I'm so happy with it. So pretty much I gave them about 40 pieces in all, and it was just over $1,000 to get everything blasted, powder coated, and then returned to me. I've got some, over on the other side, I've got the shocks which I've been assembling for the Toy tuning coil over kit. A little bit complex in the way it sort of fits together, but I have sort of worked it out. I've got it over there, I'll quickly show you that stuff. So there's the coil overs. I've been making them myself. Like I said, we showed you the how-to video, how to cut all these back and weld the rings on, so that's all done. They came back from the powder coaters. They look, like I said, they look absolutely brand new. Put the sleeve kit on and the coils and the conical hatch with the bearing in the top, and these just look phenomenal. You can see them there, they just look absolutely fantastic. Give you a quick look down at those. So yeah, they come up an absolute treat. I'm so happy with the way they look. Hopefully they perform exceptionally well as well. I got the standard sway bars powder coated in signal red, and so they look really good as well. So even though they're only the standard ones, they're going to look pretty phenomenal under the car. Like I said, everything's coming along pretty nicely with it. I'm really happy with the progress. In the last video I did explain that the car is down at the shop still getting the panel work done and the metal work done, and it should be, it's not going to be July, it's going to be August or September, let's be honest. But the best part about that is I should get everything else restored before that. So by the time the car comes back, we're all ready just to slap it back together, which is going to be a pretty fun time, and I should be making some good content at that point. And I can show you some of the more stuff here. I've got to show you this, the subframe, because the subframe came up amazing. When you see it, I mean, seeing it on video is one thing, but when you see it in person, I mean, that's 43 years old. It just looks absolutely phenomenal, and just brand spanking new, and they just did an amazing job. Now, typical when you do these sort of things, you forget stuff. So I thought I took every bracket, every bit of metal down there, and no I didn't. So I've got another little bucket on that side, which I've got to take back to the blasters. Just more little brackets, little bits and pieces. So when stuff came back, I noticed I only had 1 of 2, which was pretty annoying. But he said just bring it back and he'll sort it all out for me. Zinc platers as well, so all the bolts and everything came back. Zinc plated, look amazing. Some stuff needed to be redone, so there was some overspray from a previous repair, obviously, that the car had. And the zinc plate doesn't strip the paint, so I'm going to clean them up on the wheel or clean them up with a vibration polisher, and then send them back down to get the zinc coating done. But yeah, everything should be complete. I've got a few things that are sort of getting a bit stuck on, which I should be able to work out. It shouldn't be too much of a drama. With the diff, I know I showed you in a previous episode, the diff that came out was an R200, I thought it was an R180. So putting an R180 back in proved to be a bit of an issue because the moustache bar was an R200 one and I needed an R180 one. So Toy tuning, I've ordered the R180 moustache bar. Everything you read online is just take the yoke off the front of the old diff and whack it on your new diff. That's fine if it's an R180, not an R200. So the yokes are different because the shaft sizes are different. They go from the pinion. So a machine shop I spoke to said they should just be able to machine it up and re-drill it and get it all in there fitting together for me. So I'm halfway through restoring the drive shaft, so that's almost completely done. So I've just left the rear yoke off, and I'm going to take that front flange off the diff down, and they're going to just get them together for me so they mesh properly, and I'll put that back on the R180. Half shafts, I've got to do a how-to video, so they're half in pieces at the moment. I sort of half shot that today. During the next few days, I'm going to strip it completely apart, shoot the rest of it, paint it all, and then reassemble it, and I'll do a video on how to do the half shafts on Datsuns. Super easy, really, really straightforward stuff. I think I did all the unis, so the 6 uni joints all up on the car. Did 2 half shafts and the drive shaft, and I think with all the unis and everything it was 140 bucks. So that's a super easy DIY job. I mean, I'm no great mechanic, but I did it super quick and super easy in mostly a shirt and tie. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. But today, like I said, we're going to work on getting just some interior pieces painted. I'm going to show you what paint I used to get my interior done. So I've got a JZA80 Supra, which I did the full interior. Here's what the interior looks like in the JZA80. You can see there, I painted everything and stripped it all apart. So I'll get this paint that I use, which is actually a Tamiya paint, which is a hobby paint, specifically designed for plastic, and it just sticks amazing, finishes amazing, the sheen's beautiful on it. So I paint all them flat black today, and I've got my chrome pen and I do all the chrome highlights back on there, I guess same with the Lost Factory, and I'll show you what those pieces look like before and after. So yeah, I'm going to start on that right now. So as I explained earlier, I'm halfway through 6 or 7 different things. So these are the rear hatch struts, and they're pretty perfect condition. They work absolutely perfectly. They held the hatch up really for a long time without wiring. But again, previous repair and covered in overspray. So I had the brackets done up, which I'll just grab. So they're the brackets that the powder coaters did for me, and the blasters. You can see they just look amazing. So I'm going to give these a paint up, and just quick rub back, give a quick paint. Then I can reassemble these on the struts and whack them in the done box. Got to try and remember which way they went, and that's left and that's right. There's some stampings on them, but yeah, I might just partially put them together, put them in a bag and leave it all, so when the car comes back I can work it out on the car. So I got these here, I'll give them a quick rub down and show you painting them. Very, very boring content. Quick rub, I hang them up, spray them, beautiful. So they're all rubbed back. I'll hit them on the wire wheel just to clean the ends up to make sure they're all nice. So I'm just going to, I use just blue Windex to clean. It's just from Coles, and it cleans my parts awesome before I spray them. With the paint I use as well, we got Worth at the office, and I spoke to the rep and got a box of this stuff. This stuff sticks like shit to a blanket, and it looks amazing. The sheen comes off really, really well. So even, I'll show you on the half shafts and the drive shaft, I use this Worth paint. Sticks really well, great coverage, and looks factory, sort of the OE finish. So going to give this a wipe over with the Windex, hang them up and give them quick paint. So these are the bits I'm going to work on today, the interior pieces. So this is the piece for the dash where air vents and the controls for the heater come through. This is where the map light goes as well. So, I mean, condition's pretty good, but I reckon I can get it looking brand new. I'm also going to do steering column shroud. This has no texture in it really, as you can see. So I'm going to give that a little scuff back with some 800. And I'm going to use this stuff here, which is Tamiya colour. Now, anyone out there plays with model cars or hobby cars or RC or anything like that will know that Tamiya is a pretty awesome brand. It's a Japanese brand. Love everything Japanese, so yeah, absolutely love these guys as well. These, I think, pair was about 20 bucks from memory, down a local hobby shop. So hit it with some fine surface primer first, let that dry, and then going to hit it with this, which is TS5 matte black. So I've got a couple of cans of that, and that should be enough to do all the bits of the interior that I need to do. So I'm going to go quickly hit that with some 800 and then set this up for paint. Okay, so I have got everything all set up ready to paint, already rubbed back, ready to rock and roll. So here's the surrounds for the steering column. So like I said, just hit them with a bit of 800 and they come up really nice. They look like brand new when they're finished. Surround for the air vents in the centre of the dash. Now inside the paint booth, I have the mirror. That's a bit sun damaged, so rub that back, and I'm going to give that a few extra coats just to help it out. While I was doing that, I was trimming under here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera there. I'm trying to get it out. Ugh. So I put the tape over the glass just so I didn't get any paint on the glass, and drove a scalpel into my nail plate, and that hurt like hell. So that's gonna be a really good job, and I'm gonna remember that forever. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm gonna remember having that scalpel sticking out of my finger. So I've got the paint just over here in a bucket at the moment with a bit of hot water. So pretty cold day in Perth today. I think it's about 10 or 12 degrees, and this stuff doesn't like to paint too cold. So just got this in a bit of hot water, and gonna leave these in there for 5 minutes just to warm it up. Once that's all ready to warm up, we'll give it a quick spray. Just a couple of quick light coats to start, just to get a bit of a dusting on there. And I'll give everything else a quick coat as well. I got these set up just on this table rather than in the booth, so that I can just get right around sort of one movement rather than having to move it inside the booth. Always keep shaking these as well, just so it doesn't settle. It's a little bit not very sturdy on that pan, but it should be okay, as long as I don't go too close. Stuff's super quick to dry as well, so just having the paint warmer, that helps it a long way to help it just get that little bit dry a little bit quicker, especially on this very cold day. So I'm going to give them a few minutes, let them dry up, and give them a few more coats, and when I finish doing all the primer, I'll come back and show you doing the main paint. So there we have it, all primed up, ready to rock and roll. They look pretty good. The shrouds for the steering column come up really well. These little vent pieces come up awesome, and the mirror looks pretty good. Can't really pick it up in the camera, but it's misty as hell in here. So they're all ready to go. So I'm going to give them a little bit of time to dry, maybe about 10 or 15 minutes, and they use the whole can of the surface primer, so don't need that anymore. Close. Yeah, give them about 15 minutes to dry, then I'm going to hit them with the black. Okay, so no point me showing you me blowing this in, so I'm just going to paint all these up. I'll show you me painting this first little piece here, and then I'll do the rest of them, and when they're all done I'll show you what they look like. But this is the fascia piece, so I'm going to do that one first. Nice light coat to get started, just so we can see where we're going. And I'll come back and show you what they look like when they're done. Alright, so that is all done. And it come up an absolute bloody treat. Super impressed, super happy. So, as it's a very cold day here, like I said before, here in Perth, I'm going to leave these to dry overnight. And I've had enough for the day actually, so it's about 4 o'clock and I've done my dash. So I'll leave those to dry, and tomorrow I'll grab them out and I will put the chrome striping on that I need. There we go. That'll come up an absolute treat. So this piece here is the piece where the vents sit behind. So on that edge, that leading edge there, it has chrome trim, and I'm going to use my chrome pen, which I bought, I showed in the previous episode. I'm going to retrim that piece, and that'll look like a brand new piece again. So yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, next day. We'll try just see what it looks like tomorrow. So it is the next day here, guys, and I have to say these came up absolutely amazing. You can have a look at that. I'll just put it on the bench and I'll just get right in close for you. Just looks absolutely sensational. That to me, a paint super coats super well, and it just looks like a new one. There's a little repair there I had to do, which is nothing too serious, and there was a little crack up here as well. You can try and get the camera to focus in on that spot, but that's quick repair, nothing serious. There it is there, you can see the little crack. That's where I just welded it on the back. So that is all done. That is all done. The shrouds are done. That's done now. I had to just glue this piece, which I'm going to repair a bit better with glue later. That's the top of where the sun visors go. Apparently they're real hard to get, so I'm going to fix that myself. So that is it for today. Everything's done. I'm going to go inside now and do the chrome trim on the outside of these, put the vents back in and put it all back together, and I'll give you a look at what it looks like when it's all back together. Alright, so I'm going to use my liquid chrome paint pen, which I showed in previous episodes, because there's this little lip right on the edge there. So from the factory that is all chrome. So I'm going to be very careful. And I'm going to very quickly run this around here. Try and keep it in one motion without getting the pen off. It's very difficult, but it does get a better finish if you do it like that. Be sure to make sure you connect the lines up. Just make sure you haven't missed any spots. Just miss that corner a little bit. So there it is. And that looks just like the factory finish. A little spot I just missed there, I noticed. And just another one there. Takes a couple of tries to get it perfect, but worth the job. That is it, and I'm super happy with that. So I'm going to reassemble the whole piece and I'll show you what it looks like when that's all back together. So that is it. We are done, and I reckon it came out an absolute treat. Those chrome lines look factory, finished really well. Took me a couple extra times over the top of them with the pen just to tidy them up, make sure they're really straight, but you can see, yeah, it looks fantastic. I used an LED globe in this lamp here rather than the old filament globe. So yeah, that's nice and bright when that lights up. I'll just plug it into the power and I'll show you what that looks like lighting up. Yeah, so that's with the map light on. It's a lot nicer with the LED, nice and bright. So I did all the gauges LED as well, so in the interior it should be nice and bright at night. So yeah, into the box and wait for the car to get back with this one. Move on to the next thing. So I reckon that came up really, really awesome with the chrome pieces around the vents and looked like a brand new piece now. So yeah, I hope you guys really like that. I did speak earlier in the video about the issues with the flanges from the R200 to the R180. My friend Philippe, he's got a little machine shop down in Maddington, a little engineering company, and he's going to machine that for me so it fits just like that, and I'll be able to put that one straight back onto the R180, so that should solve all my problems there. I'm going to order the stub axles this week for the R180, so that's the whole back end complete. This week I'm also going to order the front Willwood calipers and the Willwood Brake Master cylinder. So hopefully in a few weeks they'll arrive. I did order some stuff from Technotoy tuning around the 21st of May, which they were engineering up and machining up, so that still hasn't arrived, so hopefully that arrives this week. So in the next video I'll be able to show you what came from Technotoy, and yeah, so I'm pretty excited to see a bit more progress. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to stop doing multiple projects, so I'm going to start one thing and finish one thing before I move on to the next thing, which will give the videos a little bit more sort of stability, so I'm doing one thing through the video rather than doing 3 or 4 different projects at the same time, so hopefully you enjoy that a bit more. Like I said, any comments, hit them below and I'll read them and I'll make any changes that I think are going to be good for the channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon for new videos. I've nearly got 50 subscribers now, so I'm super happy with that. Yeah, everything's ticking along pretty nicely and I really am enjoying doing this, so I really appreciate you watching, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.